Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media, and in a bit, we'll be turning our attention to Westbury, where residents are protesting over prolonged water outages. On the line, we have Hussein van Sale, a local resident who's currently actively participating in the demonstration. Hussein, thank you so much for joining us in the middle of this protest. First and foremost, if you can just give us, a quick, recount of the water crisis in Westbury and how long has it affected you guys?
Yeah. Okay. Hello?
Hello, Hussein, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Hello?
Hello, Hussein, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes. Just quickly, I understand you are in the middle of a protest right now. If you can just give us some background and information on the water challenges that you guys in Westbury have been facing, and also what the response from the authorities has been thus far.
The responses of the
authorities, whether it's Rand Water, it's the municipalities,
okay.
it's your councillors. How have they tackled this issue?
All right, look, the situation as we have it now is that we've been having water issues in Coronationville and surrounding areas for the last 4 years. You go to bed at night, the water comes on when you fast asleep, 2 o'clock in the morning, the water comes on, goes off at 5 o'clock before you get up to go to work. People have to get up that time of the morning to do washing, to bath, to get ready for work so that they're ready, washed and dressed by the time the water goes off at 5 in the morning. The council has tried to engage with the community previously with regards to what's happening here. Joburg Water came out to try and give explanations, but a lot of the explanations and the stories that they give the people are very far-fetched and unfounded. There's no real truth in what they say, and it's impossible for water to come on every night for the last 4 years between the hours of midnight and 5 in the morning. But in the daytime, there's absolutely no water when people need it the most. So we'd like to know, how is it possible for you to pump water in the middle of the morning hours, but you can't pump during the day? Joburg Water is very, I would say, skitterish about the whole thing. They don't answer, they don't say anything concrete, they don't give proper proof, they don't allow people in to see what's really happening. We have guys that's engineers in the field. My brother Berg, Dan Saskrit, he's explained to me how this thing works, and he said it's impossible for you not to have water. However, it's strange enough that certain areas don't have water, but the pipelines that feed the other areas that does have water passes through our area. And that water is passing past us and is going to other areas and it's feeding there. So it sounds like a sabotage situation. It seems like it's been deliberately shut off from our communities to teach them a lesson of some sort. However, the officials are not forthcoming, coming to the situation, trying to resolve problems. They don't want to even speak to anybody. We try to get hold of the councillor now, but the councillor is scared to engage with the community because previously the community attacked her. And, well, I wouldn't say physically attacked her, but they verbally attacked her and they made her feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And I do understand her stance, but at the same time, being councillor, that's part of the job. And she has to engage with the community and she has to come out and say, okay, I'll meet with the delegation of your community and then they can give the community feedback, which we're willing to do. But we need feedback as to what is going to happen with regards to the water issues in the area. There's another problem. Slovo Informal Settlement has free running water. They have toilets, they have showers, they have washing facilities for their washings and stuff like that. They've got what they call it like communal washing areas where they can do all their washing and their ablution and everything. And the state is paying for that water. And that water gets wasted because it's running down the roads like nothing, because there's nobody to take account for the wastage of that water. Then at the same time, we have made an appeal to the city to say, look, throw some balls because we are living on top of a freshwater lake. And there's nothing that will stop them from drilling a 45,000 Rand ball and putting the Jojo tanks to supply the community with water for emergency water. And I know what the reason for that is, because they're scared they won't get revenue from the water metering that they're getting. I'll actually be paying for air in this community. So they're scared they won't get their money for water if they put back the water. It's simple. You put back the water, you shut down the Jojo tanks. You shut down the water, the balls. Nobody can access it because it will be put in a place where there's security. But at the same time, it's unconstitutional and it's unfair to this community. And the next step forward is that this community is going to do a petition as well as a memorandum that must be handed to the officials. And then we're going to take this to the Constitutional Court for intervention. Because it's not fair that they don't come out and give an accountability for what's happening.
You mentioned something quite important. You mentioned that there might be elements of sabotage for your area specifically because other areas are getting water. Areas that are down the road from you or are next to you, which share the same pipeline as you guys, are getting consistent water supply. Why do you think there might be a deliberate, act of sabotage against you guys so that you don't access, a basic human right like everyone else?
So what the problem is here is that when you look at it holistically, like I say, if you can pump water in the middle of the morning hours, what's wrong with pumping water during the day? Why not pump in the middle of morning hours where people are asleep and they don't need the water, and let the water run during the day where people need to do washing, they need to get their children ready for school, they need to do bathing and things like that, they need to do they need to clean their homes, they need to flush their toilets and things, because people are awake when the sun is up. When people are asleep, they basically don't even use the toilet because they're sleeping. You normally wake up in the morning and you go to toilet. So what happens is the waters are off in the time when people really need it. But when they don't need it, the water's running full blast. So the sabotage issue is that if you take it to engineering point, water is run through valves. And a valve is run by a stopcock. But it's a massive stopcock that you turn with both hands. That stopcock can be turned off, or it can restrict the flow of water by just turning it close. That means the water will be off because they say, oh, the reservoir is empty. At Hussein, there's two reservoirs, Reservoir 1 and Reservoir 2. Reservoir 1 was the original Hussein reservoir in the Hussein water station. And then just behind it, there's a city-to-city where they built Hussein reservoir. Then you have Brixton has got a reservoir, and they're building a new reservoir in Jan Hofmeyer at the 10111 offices at the cemetery there in Brixton. They're building a new water reservoir there. So my problem is this, that they're building reservoirs, they're fixing pipelines, but there's no water. The last time they told us that they're fixing a pipeline from Eikenhof to Hussein 1 and 2, the pipe is rotten and it needs to be replaced. The water will be off for 2 weeks. And then they fixed the pipeline. The water came on for a week. And after that, the water restrictions started again. Then they started turning off the water. So the thing is this, if you go to the reservoirs and say to them, turn open the valves, let's see what's going to happen. They don't want to do nothing. So the point is this, they keep on saying that the councillor is not present, the councillor is not there. The council engaged with this community. But this community, as like I said, verbally assaulted her and told her that she is not their councillor. They don't want to hear from her. Now that they've got a problem, they want to know where the councillor is. But rightfully speaking, the councillor should give accountability to the community and find out what is the real problem. Get a delegation from the community, take them to the pump stations, take them to the reservoirs, take them to wherever, and show them, prove to them that the water is inaccessible due to faults this way, X, Y, and Z. But there's nothing like that. So the people will be frustrated, they will become irate, and they will become, they wouldn't become violent, because if they become violent, it turns into a little war. But unfortunately, the truth is the truth. There is definitely a water restriction deliberately done.
Do you feel like the protest is getting the attention it deserves from local officials?
Not at all. Not at all, because the minute there's a shutdown, officials should put themselves in their vehicles, get to the station, get to the point where there's a problem, say, guys, I'm here, what is the problem, what can we do, how can we resolve? Then go with the people, take the people, show them, look, this is the problem, give us a time frame, say this is going to be resolved in so many days, so many weeks, so many years. But feedback is important. One of the problem is that everybody blames politicians. Now, let me tell you some of the politicians. They are a bunch of glorified, uneducated fools that sit behind the desk and get paid big money to do absolutely nothing. A real activist is a man in the street that should be there in their office, leaving his office in the morning to go to communities and find out what is the stripes and struggles, and then try to resolve it for the people. That's a real leader. That's a real person. We've got people here that's been, God can say, canvassing for votes for they want this party, that party, that party. Unfortunately, there is some political leaders that help and there's some that don't. You know, I don't want to blow my trumpet on this one guy, but he's one of the guys that when I had the equity bill being run, he came out and he said, I will take leadership and I will help and I will fight the fight. Bishop Dalton Adams stood up for our people and he was there for us. Genevieve Sherman helps, but the people turned against her. And she can still help if they just give her a chance to do her job. The people also need to be fair. If you're blocking officials from working, nothing's going to work. We need to give them a chance to prove themselves. If they don't, then we can vote them out and say, oh, no confidence, you're useless, you cannot do the job that you are paid to do, then leave. And then we put somebody else there that says they can, and if they fail, we vote them out as well. Referendums are there for that purpose. So people need to take accountability for the job that they signed up for. If you said that you want to be the ward councillor, the MEC, the MMC, the president, whoever you are, you need to listen to the community, because the democracy rule is by the people, for the people shall govern. And if you don't listen to the people and the people turn out irate and angry, then you must understand that you have no choice but to accept the kind of backlash that communities would give to you. So they need to come out and they need to come and engage with this community and tell them what they're willing to do. And then bring water trucks by the dozens so that people don't have to struggle to get water. There's old ladies of 80-year-olds that must get little boys to go and fetch water for them because they can't walk for water. And they live alone in old age homes in our community. How are they trying to assist? The council is trying. She's getting the water trucks out. The water truck drivers, again, they don't do what they are supposed to do. They don't stop where they're supposed to stop to help people. They don't want to drive through the streets and wait for people to fill water from the tankers. It's a mission. So at the end of the day, we want people to take accountability for the job that they have signed up to do. And that's all we want. We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to burn and break and stone and things. We're not barbarians. We're people. And we are adults. We can listen and we can understand. So until they come out and engage with us, we'll be forced to take the type of steps that we're taking. And then the next best thing, because they can't come and engage with us, we'll get the police to start to intervene and start shooting rubber bullets and things like that. That's not the way to do things. Come out, meet with the people, tell the people.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time, Hussein. Stay safe out there. We'll continue monitoring the story throughout the day, but we're going to leave it here for now.
Okay, sir. You're welcome. Thanks for the interview.
That was coming to us live from Westbury was Hussein Fansel, a local resident who's currently participating in the demonstration. Water, a story also familiar, and people have no choice but to go out into the streets and protest. So yeah, we'll definitely be following up on that story, and for more updates you can follow us on X at Salam Media and engage with us using the hashtag news and views. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after this.